What's good YouTube, it's Sean here, and today I'm back to give you guys a review of the Air Jordan 3 Retro OG in the black cement colorway. I know it's only February right now and it hasn't even been 2 months into the year, but I'm going to say this right now, hold me to this. This is going to be my favorite pickup in the entire year when it's all said and done. So of course, it goes without saying, a huge thank you to the folks over at The Closet Inc. These drop worldwide this coming Saturday, February 17th, and they do come in full family sizing. So if you're looking to outfit the ladies, the kids, or the babies, everyone's gonna have the chance to grab a pair of these black cement 3s. The retail price on these is set for $200 US or 265 Canadian dollars. So interestingly enough, this is actually a $30 price decrease from the True Blue 3 with the same Nike Air on the back. So kudos to Jordan Brand for dropping down the price. The official colorway for this shoe is black, fire red, cement gray, and white, and they are slated to be a pretty general release shoe, meaning here in Toronto, these will be available not only at the independent boutique stores, but they're going to also be available at pretty much any single Foot Locker or Champs located in and around the city. So the box that this comes with is pretty much unchanged. We have this lid which is done in black with this large red Jumpman on the top. Then on the front we have this Jumpman Air on both sides, and then the bottom is completely done in this elephant print. As for the shoe itself, these 2018 retros are an improvement over the last Black Cement 3 retro which released back in 2011. So my 2011 pair is completely beat up, so I was really happy to finally re-up on these black cements and have a fresh, brand new pair. So the majority of the upper of the shoe is comprised using this tumbled black leather. So I've read a lot online that people have been saying that this leather is really high quality and it's really soft, but in my personal opinion, the leather has been improved over, for example, the True Blue 3s, which in my honest opinion was pretty plasticky. But overall, I still wouldn't say that the leather quality on these black cements is great. It feels pretty average, to be honest, and it definitely could have been softer and overall a higher quality grade of leather. One thing I definitely liked about this leather compared to the 2011s was the 2011s had a really glossy look to it when it's brand new, whereas this one has a bit more of a matte finish. So whereas the top layer of the shoe is done in this tumbled leather, this bottom half that starts around the midfoot and makes its way around the length of the shoe, this is done in a smooth black leather. At the base of the toe box we have these 5 red eyelets that are found on either side of the shoe, and then running up along the center of the shoe where the remainder of the eyelets are, this is done in this gray leather that has these pretty distinct perforations found throughout. So comparing this to the 2011s, the perforations on the 2011s were much more faint, whereas the ones on these ones is much more pronounced. As for the tongue of the shoe, this is done in the same cement gray color. The bottom half of the tongue has these perforations, whereas the top half of the tongue is smooth. And then the tongue is accented with this red Jumpman logo. As for the quality of the leather on the tongue, honestly it still feels pretty plasticky, but it is an improvement over the 2011s as they are slightly more soft. Overlaid on top of the tongue we have your laces, which are just your standard flat black laces. And then attached to the left shoe we have this plastic hang tag that has this Nike Air branding. Found wrapping around the toe box as well as along the back heel, we have of course the iconic elephant print. So comparing the elephant print on the 2018s to the 2011s, at least for my pair I felt like the elephant print on these ones was a bit more subtle, whereas the 2011s I felt like the lines were very dark, almost like a black color, and it was a much more obvious print. As we take a look at the back, this is the part of the black cement 3s that a lot of us Jordan heads have been waiting for since 2001. So finally we have this Nike Air branding on the heel instead of the Jumpman Air branding that was found on the previous few retros. Taking a look at the inside of the shoe, so the back of the tongue is done in fire red, and then the remainder of the interior of the shoe is done in cement gray. And these come with a fairly padded insole that's done in red with Nike Air branding on the heel done in black. So these black cement 3s sit atop this foam midsole that's predominantly done in white. Of course, we have this accent of black paint that starts about midway through the shoe and loops around the back end. Of course, this would not be an Air Jordan 3 without this visible air unit found right underneath the heel. In fact, just as an FYI for you guys, the Air Jordan 3 was designed by who else? Tinker Hatfield, and this was the first shoe in the Air Jordan line that featured this visible air bubble. As we take a look at the bottom of the shoe, here we have your classic Air Jordan 3 outsole. So as you can see, this is done in a combination of gray, red, and white. We have this circular traction pattern in this red area right here on the forefoot, and then we have this Nike branding on the heel done in red. In terms of the sizing on these shoes, so these fit pretty much like all my other Air Jordan 3s. So I'm typically a size 10 in Air Jordan retros. The exception to that is, for example, the Air Jordan 1 and the Air Jordan 3, where I'm usually a 10.5. Just to give you guys a point of reference, 10.5, which is the size I'm wearing for these black cements, This is my usual Nike sportswear size, so I'd wear 10.5 in other models like the Air Max 1, the Air Max 90, the Roshe, and the Vapor Max. Comparing the fit of this in a 10.5 to my True Blue 3s, which I also got in a 10.5, the True Blue 3s were definitely a little bit more snug overall. These ones had a little bit less padding around the ankles, and overall they just felt like they weren't hugging your feet quite as tightly. But the size difference wasn't enough that I had to go down a half size. At the end of the day, it really depends on the shape and the size of your feet, so just to be safe, I'd recommend just sticking with your normal Air Jordan 3 size. Comfort-wise, as far as retros go, I actually find that the Jordan 3s are pretty comfortable overall, and they even improved on this compared to the retro from 2011 by incorporating a thicker and more plush insole. So now let me lace up these black cement 3s and show you guys how these look on feet. Overall, it really goes without saying that the Black Cement 3 is truly an iconic sneaker. If you are a fan of shoes, chances are you are a fan of the Black Cement 3s, and for me personally, this is definitely one of my top Air Jordans of all time. So if you guys are looking for a pair, these do release this coming Saturday, and if you are in Canada, be sure to check out The Closet Inc. I'll link their social media and their website down in the description box below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give me that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and give me a follow also on my Instagram at SGO8. You can also check out my website, which is now up at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you guys so much for tuning in, good luck on Saturday, and I'll see you guys in my next review.